All right, guys, to watch this video for Thursday, March 18th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way, to everybody. So the SPY gapped down and had a pretty nice, strong day. When you go to the intraday, those of you who are familiar with FOMC, this is typically what the SPY does pre-FOMC, and then you get the announcement, and then you get some kind of move. A lot of times you get a move, and then you get a move the other way, and then it can be crazy. It's calmed down in the recent years, though, but anyway, then you got the big move. So really, there was not much going on until that. The NFT plays, which I feel stupid even saying non-fungible token. I would explain that to you, but everything I said would be a lie because I don't understand any of it. I don't even care. But there were some crazy moves today. I did decent on some pullback plays in a couple of them. But anyway, couple highlights from today that were more normal trades. EBON, I'd mentioned in the morning that I like this one. Opening range break, if it broke its early high, in other words, over 1045, especially when I saw Bitcoin plays start to move, because this one's been one of the stronger Bitcoin plays lately. So anyway, here it breaks 1045 and really never looks back and goes out at the highs. So that was one that I called today. ENTX was a late day call. Remember, take today's candle out of it. This was just kind of looking ugly. But if you watched my video last night, what I said is typically what I like to see when I'm looking for something that was crazy strong and then down a few days, I like to see a narrow range and an afternoon high of day break, right? So let's fast forward. And these are 5-minute candles. There's the opening candle. Look what it does. It does next to nothing, but it's holding up. And I took a screenshot. You can see the screenshot of the post I put in chat. ENTX high of day break is the bounce play entry. In other words, over this early 534 idea. This is right there. Over that, which is right there, I said this would be the first afternoon break since it ripped to 10. And then that's when I say ripped to 10, I mean this massive move back here. And again, you can see what happened. So the entry was right there, and it just runs straight to 6. And got a lot of thank yous for that one. It was a decent way to end the day. I had another decent day, but like I said, you really, it's a trying market in that, as I always say, we're all human, and it's very easy to succumb to boredom trades when nothing's going on. I mean, you're sitting in front of your screens, you're wanting to make money. And one of the things I think I'm best at, that I've acquired this skill over the years, and it sounds stupid to call it a skill, but it is doing nothing most of the time, right? I spend most of my time stalking or waiting for setups, right? Inflection point, entries, pullback plays, and all that stuff that we teach in our course. I spend most of my time waiting. I don't feel like I have to be in something just because I'm a day trader and I'm sitting here in front of the screens. And that's really, honestly, a skill that you need to develop, especially in a market like this. All right, so anyway, what am I watching for tomorrow? Let's start with ZKIN. Had this nice pop 3 sessions ago, then it looked like it was rolling over, and then today a really strong move. So I like this for a potential long tomorrow. Remember, I'm a day trader. I in cash at the closing bell. AMC, I like the looks of this one. I made over 1,000 this one this morning on the call that I made. I forgot to mention that one. Let me go to twos. All right, so this is what it looked like, showing you 2-minute candles. The early high was 1357. Look over here at yesterday's high, 1362, right? So I called this second mouse through 1350, which is right about here, thinking that would be enough to get me through the highs, and that would be enough to maybe get me through yesterday's high and maybe squeeze. What I like about AMC, the stock, is you can have as many shares as you want. It's extremely liquid. So I took some size, and I'm a seller once it breaks the high of day. I want to sell more over yesterday's high, which I think it maybe did. It got right up to yesterday's high there, sold a few more. It rolled over and I'm back out the rest. But still, in that little bit, you can see the volume. I mean, each one of these sticks, these are 5-minute candles. No, 2-minute candles. Each one of these sticks is over 1 million shares. So I did take a size there. I didn't get the move I wanted. And then, by the way, let's go to 5-minute candles. in after hours. This had a strong close. If I didn't have to leave before right at the closing bell, I probably would have watched this one for a high of day break in after hours. I love that setup. It ended up going up over 14 in after hours, so I feel like I missed some money there. But anyway, back to the daily. As I'm talking now, it's trading at 1382. I like the looks of this one. You kind of had a squeeze here, quiet inside day, another quiet day, and I think they announced 97% of their theaters are going to be open within, I don't know, like a week or two or something, maybe this week. And so that got a little spike in after hours. Certainly a lot of shorts, I think, stuck in this name, or if it rallies, they could be in trouble. That's a better way to put it. So that one's on watch. EBON, I already talked about the call I made in this one today. Strong close. You know, if Bitcoin gets moving, I like the looks of this chart. ENTX, we had that nice bounce today. I already talked about the day trade in it. It's kind of interesting now. It topped out at 6. Day before 606. So, I mean, back through 6 tomorrow, we might have a nice continuation of that bounce. And there it is on 15-minute candles. So that one's certainly worth watching. Let's see, ENTX. EYES. Now, I watched this trade today. I think I might have taken one trade in it, but it traded pretty nasty. And we used to call eyes evil eyes, and then it broke free the other day, and we had some great trades in it. It's starting to become evil eyes again. You can see here, it had this gap down and a nice run. Then look what happens. Pulls back, comes up, takes out the high, and falls apart. Eventually takes out the high again, falls apart. I mean, every time it breaks the highs, it gets slapped back down, including here late in the day. I think I only took one trade right here, second mouse through the half. And I want to say I made like $90 or something, because I scalped some, and when it came back down, I hit out the rest, because I don't trust it. It's not trading great. Having said all of that, the daily is kind of interesting, right? You had this big pop, then a lower high right around 16. Looked like it was rolling over, and kind of a nice solid green day today. So it does go back on watch. EXPR, another one, kind of like AMC, one of those old Wall Street bet stocks. You had a nice pop back here to 544. Then it put in a lower high at 527. And then today topped out at exactly 5. So if we break through 5 tomorrow, especially on volume, you've got a nice little flag pattern that might start knocking down those dominoes. So I like the looks of that one. SINO, I'm not sure what spiked this one today, but strong volume and a pretty strong close. Looks like it topped out right around 9, so that might come into play tomorrow. Lizzie, I don't love this one. It had this big move on the Citron piece yesterday. Today had a pop, but then closed at its lows. So this is kind of one I'm just going to want to watch. I'd like to see a couple day pullback, but I am going to keep it on watch tomorrow. If you look at the intraday today, gap down and ran, and I said I would like this later in the day over this high in the afternoon, but look what it did. It just never even came close. So we'll watch it again tomorrow. SLGG is just really, I talked about this in the video last night, it's just really holding up really well, although closing well off its highs. I'm not in love with this one, but I'm going to have it on a chart. SAVA, nice little mini breakout here. That might have a continuation day tomorrow. GRNQ, decent volume for the stock and a pretty strong close with catalysts right here, a potential catalyst above, so I want to watch that one. A couple more. MOGO, also like GRNQ is considered a Bitcoin play, by the way, and so is EBON. I talked about both of those. MOGO is another one, and this one's kind of interesting because it had a nice strong day. Bitcoin plays were strong today, and you notice yesterday topped out just over 11. So this through 11 tomorrow would be interesting, knowing that 1104 is just above, and then you have a couple other catalysts stacked right there. So I like the looks of this chart a lot. And lastly, AEI, which is a thin stock. See this big volume spike? Still didn't hit 2 million shares. But it's really found support at 10. And I don't know, a few weeks ago, this was up at almost 30, and it didn't take much volume to move it. Keep in mind, on thin stocks, they move really nicely to the upside or the downside. So you got to really watch the spreads in something like this. But if it gives me an A+ setup, I like how strong it was today. I'll look for a continuation pattern tomorrow. That's it. That's plenty to watch. I'm done babbling. We'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning.